High tide on Fire Island. The oceans of the realm had no single ruler in that era. There was a clan of fishfolk that had laid claim to a small patch of the seas. For them, the idea of conquering the whole breadth of the depths was a pipe dream. They only skirmished amongst themselves. That was before the emergence of their sovereign, Poseidra, the Atlantean dragon. Poseidra was once but one among many creatures striving to survive in the vibrant and discordant seas. It started life as legendary Atlantean Trident, known for its voracity despite its small size. Devouring fish, shellfish, and crustaceans, it grew larger and larger, becoming an adept predator. Among its prey was a creature twice its size, Lost Blue Breaker. After this meal, its hazy mind became clear, and it gained full self-awareness. Its first realization was that it numbered among the strong. Now, it had become Poseidra, a full-fledged dragon of the deep.
How do I become stronger? I need to devour more!
Its instinctual hunger was now coupled with a desire for power, and it grew rapidly. Poseidra relentlessly attacked the bickering fishfolk clans, and brought them under its control. This was the birth of the Atlantean army. Believing that the ocean was theirs, they set about conquering it, bit by bit. They carried all before them and amassed considerable power, expanding their domain to include the neighboring seas. Poseidra's desire for dominion was as bottomless as its appetite. The ocean was not enough. It wanted to lay claim to the land, too. The immense Atlantean military force decided on a target, an isolated island sanctuary kept secure by holy flames. A clash awaits, the Guardian Fire King High Avatars against the might of the Atlantean Tyrant. The island is surrounded by a vast expanse of ocean. To human civilization, it is simply a nameless island with an active volcano at its center. Due to the surrounding currents, no ship ever arrives there by chance. The island has long remained uneroded by the crashing waves, suggesting some kind of sacred protection. And indeed, there is a temple within the volcano. The temple, in turn, has protectors, the flame-wreathed Fire King beasts. They have long lived there, untamed by human society, on this island where one hears little besides the surf and occasional tremors caused by the volcano. The only thing disturbing the tranquility is raids from barbarians of the sea, none of whom comprehend the temple's worth. They are dealt with mercilessly by the Fire Kings. With their bodies ablaze, they repulse intruders with such force as to deter future incursions upon the island. At times, the foe is formidable, but even when the Fire Kings expend every modicum of their power, their souls can endure. Their fiery life force lives on, and they are reborn as future Fire Kings. Not once have their flames been extinguished, and thus they have kept their temple protected. However, never before have they faced so great a challenge. The might of the Atlantean army led by Poseidra the Atlantean dragon was unmatched in this marine region. Now, their assault was imminent. The battle was underway, the army of Poseidra the Atlantean dragon versus the Fire King forces. The usual sound of rolling waves was drowned out by battle cries from beneath, and Fire King Island was soon awash with hordes of fishfolk. Things looked bleak for the Fire Kings, since they had to defend the island's entire perimeter from the 360 assault of the Atlantean army. To compound this, the waters around the island were all Poseidra's domain. The Ocean Lord could therefore bamboozle them. It would show up in the north, vanish suddenly, then, unpredictably, appear in a different location. This put the Fire Kings under heavy strain, as they knew Poseidra itself was the greatest threat, and they had to be constantly vigilant of its whereabouts. The battle wore on, and in the end, a gap opened up in the island's defenses. An enormous wave of Atlantean troops surged forth. If they continued to advance, the island would be overrun and desecrated. In this desperate moment, Fire King High Avatar Garunix went out to meet them, acknowledging the faint odds of survival. It poured every flame it could muster out from its body, searing Poseidra and the masses of fishfolk who were about to breach the shore. Heavily wounded, Poseidra retreated deep into the ocean, with the Atlantean army's remnants in tow. The battle was over for now, with the Fire Kings having defended their territory. However, Garunix's all-out attack failed to fell Poseidra. It also left Garunix on the verge of perishing. It would be physically impossible to go on without some remedy. Garunix realized this, and threw itself into the island's central volcano. Garunix was swallowed by the intense heat, and for an instant, it appeared to have been annihilated. But then, a fledgling burst forth from the crater. Legendary Fire King Ponix. As a reincarnated newborn, Ponix did not have the resplendence of the High Avatar, who had emitted flames almost as dazzling as the sun as it soared boldly. It will be some time before Ponix can reach those heights, and the Atlantean army is sure to attack again. Thus, it was a question of who would regain power the quickest out of the injured Poseidra and Garunix's new form. Poseidra's wounds were undoubtedly grievous. Still, scorched skin and lost scales could regenerate, and the army could be rebuilt, but it would take more than that to triumph over the Fire Kings. How could the Atlantean forces be bolstered? While devouring more prey than ever before, the wounded Poseidra's mind was consumed with this one question.